At the casino all is quiet except the girl playing with her bobby pin and the girl in the classroom hitting her ruler on the desk and the dogs barking and the wind blowing the windows and the coyotes howling and the thump 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 of the beatbox and the children crying and the music in me along with the voices in my head. This has nothing to do with this story, but since I am so informative I thought I would mention it. So anyway, the casino, yeah, there is a special game going on for a certain type of people, the mucky mucks of the world. You have the Asian slave owner, the Italian dons, the wasp, and some Bahrainian kings, etc. And tonight is the night, yeah, like that sad love story that everyone tired of when they realized it was written backwards. On this night, everyone was going for broke and we were waiting for the outcome. All the possessions and collections were online. All the jewels, crowns, deeds to all the property were in the house, as were the wives, the kids, the friends, the bands. Anything that was owned, you see. We had become tired of being sold off independently or raffled off without our knowing. So everyone committed that for all time there was going to be one hand, and whoever won would claim the prize. We had run the numbers and felt we had a pretty good chance at winning, so we weren't worried, but still the apprehension was there. As the property sat with good posture and tried not to sweat. Damn, not good with the bobby pin again. Anyway, we awaited the flop. The Asian was the first to be dealt to, and he smiled as to say he was fine. Then the Italian looked surprised at his cards. The white wasp gasped when she saw her cards, and the Bahrainians looked disinterested. It was getting hot. The collections were looking at each other, wondering what was in the cards. Then the rest of the cards were laid down, and it was over. But no one got to see the cards as they had been sent to the cashier box for verification. Do you know who won? I do. But I'm not saying. Damn, I got it with the bobby pin again. Don't forget, dealer takes all. That's right, sunshine. And remember, no refunds. The wind roared and so did the sea. The people at the time were envious of others. They had the notion that were personally the only ones that were important. And since they were important, they felt they were entitled to everything in the land. So they had conflict after conflict and war upon war, dysfunction upon dysfunction. There was not a person who cared about anyone other than themselves. Their hearts were hard and their minds were closed. They thought of only themselves. Sound familiar? In the distance is two sand dunes. Picture the wind blowing one grain of sand at a time. And picture it in real time as to lose yourself in the very pivotal, but very long, very boring, very unintentional motion of this going on. Until the dunes are gone. But wait, so were all the people who thought of only themselves and carnal desires. A man staggers and swears swear words, and his sandals are tattered and his toenails are funkifishally yellow and green. He is cussing. Damn my luck, I came out to the desert to get away from everyone, and damn I hit my foot on, what the fuck is this thing? A fucking gold box, what the fuck? What is all this writing on? He digs it out and sees it, some kind of music box. He cranks the mechanical crank and it turns, then he hears it. Click, click, click. Then a tornado appears above the box and the most perfect song is played. And rainbows and pink elephants and tangerine tortoises dance in the torrent. This is the most perfect song, he said. Impression was dangling in his eyeballs. He started to drift away. And so did the sins of the world. Enemies shook hands and tortured were free. Police got away with inmates. Hebrews tongue-fucked Palestinians. Asia flew disappeared, as did all the sin industries. Hearts were mended, you know. Shalom was achieved. Unfortunately, the finder of the light died, not on cross like last time, but in the desert, funky feet and all. It seems all light bearers go away in the end, but it's nice to know they're there seeking the light. The truth, the answer. The end. I need a job, says the man. No, I need money, says the man. Time is money. I know what I will do. I will give my time away and earn money and my effort, thinks pondering man. So watch him. I mean it, really watch him. There he is. He's bought 23 cords with phones, and he's remodeled his living room into a phone parlor. He has 13 clocks on the wall as to always know the correct time. He has Pacific time, he has Eastern time, he has London time. He even knows what time it is in Hong Kong. So there he is on his first day, and one of the phones rings, and he picks it up and says, "At the tone, the time will be 12:36. Beep. Then another phone rings, and he says, "At the tone, it will be 12:37. Beep. Then another phone rings, and another. He's picking up this phone and that one, and he's trying to keep up, and still more phones are ringing, and he's on this one, trying to answer that one. The time will, then another one rings, 12:38. Then, as you can see, this idea is like most that man has, ends in chaos. He's answering this time and trying to finish this beep. Then another phone rings. His head starts spinning around at the time, and he's trying to lose consciousness. He's seeing phantom clocks in his head, but still trying to hold on. It will be, can you hold? Yes, at the tone, the time will be ring, ring, ring. Then he hangs up on the wrong person, and one of his clocks starts running slow. One stops altogether. Then his wife walks into him. "Thank goodness you're here. I'm in a panic. Can you help me?" "Yes, I will help you." She picks up all the phones, saying goodbye to all the callers one at a time. Finally, all the phones are unplugged and all the ringing stops. His wife looks at the man and asks, "Why did you think you could earn money by giving away time for free?" Dumb. The band spewed out unsound philosophy that was implanted in their listeners' ear to make them make bad moves and lead them down the path to hell. The distortion of the scene seemed to be all that mattered. Keep the kids digging for the truth as you hide it. They want to inflame hate and get the kids to drop out of society and leave the lives of losers. They want to promote and sell violence and drug addiction. Too much distortion and not enough tambourines, if you ask me, said a promoter of the other side. Our band also saw things, but not hate and war and disrespect. We saw the sound philosophy, one that was of love. We let chants of magic that enchanted and revealed the esoteric secrets of the true sciences, where God reigned and truth prevailed. We didn't lead gargling lessons that were filled with untruths or half-lies, but for some reason it was a hard sell. For some reason, kids are pulled to the ideologies that bind them in chains with no hope of freedom. They want to be grinded up and rid of. They want to fill their heads with garbage and think it makes sense. They don't really want to be awakened. They don't want to understand life and understand that distortion bands will only sell them dreams that lead to lies. They want to numb themselves and think they are parts of something. Now, if I'm not saying that none of the slogans used by the distortion band are totally false, but their agenda is one of lies and deceit. Now, if you want to know the answer, what music is supposed to bring, it's to worship, to educate, and give warmth and hope. It's not made to hype you out, to give you angry feelings, to make you make mistake after mistake until you're all alone and uncared for in your life. It is to promote good feelings and let you know there's a system of love in the world. And yes, you are loved, even if you're a misled teenager or hate leader. Too much distortion and not enough tambourines, if you ask me. "Oh, I have an idea," she said to herself. She wrote on it for days, reading it aloud as not to sound illiterate. She fell in love with the words. They carried her to a place of self-fulfilling. She just knew people would love her idea. She knew that it would be world-changing to all that heard. So she decided to put it in a local periodical. The publisher was a little reluctant, but he agreed to put her in the next edition. She was met with him and brought the paper to him, so she waited. On the night before her appointment, she was hectic as she saw her dog eating her idea. "My idea! It's fucking destroyed!" she cried. She felt like an idiot when she called the publisher and told him what happened. He seemed unmoved. In fact, he sounded like he thought she was lying. She could swear he thought she didn't have an idea at all. All she could think of was her idea. It was on her mind constantly. It started to suppress all the activities she was involved with. She started hiding in booze and loathing. She was not herself. She tried to remember just what she had written down, but it was no use. None of the words seemed to flow like the first paper. She started getting more and more angry and spent many hours and times bargaining with God that if he would just give her idea back, she would change her life. She dreamt of a spirit, and this is what the spirit said. "Seems you love your idea more than your life or those around you. Why don't you just let it go and move on?" "I can't. It was my idea. All the work I put into it. It was like an extension of my flesh. It was my child, if you will. You have to let go. It was only an idea. You will have other ideas. You have people that love you. You are pushing them away, said the spirit. She woke up and she yawned. She made a phone call to one of her friends. She just complained and complained. She wouldn't stop mourning no matter what feedback or comfort her loved ones gave. This went on for months and months until she was talking to a stranger at the park, explaining how great her idea was and what a loss it was to her and the rest of the world. She awakened to a new sense of reality when the stranger said, "If it was such a good idea, why does it make you suffer so much? It seems to me if it was a good idea, it would release positivity, not negative emotions. I don't think that idea was good at all." It was the war of the battle of the brigade of the army, and the army of the slave. You could sense it in impending doom. The cries were foretold on the media box at early evening. You knew the time was coming that we're going to have another world war. Tensions were high, as was the stress and the lost assumption that everything would be fine. People were drawing lines. You couldn't trust your family, you couldn't trust your friends, you couldn't trust your neighbors, and you couldn't trust your government. Well, there was a safety net. Then it happened, the first shot rang out. And then the televised lies and the honor that buys. The draft was about to commence. Everyone wanted our country to be safe, wanted to do their best to make it through the war. But it took dedication and a little magic. At first, everything was going fine. It seemed it would be a small offense. But then the war turned, and it wasn't only bombs falling in other countries. No, now in our homeland, we were getting shell-shocked and missile attacks. Where were they? We watched the news in blindness, wondering how our government was going to meet the new demand that was being placed on us. At first, we had many sermons by politicians, and they were very visible and seemed to be concerned. But then we saw this. Many jets being bolted by all the wealthy and heads of states. They were fleeing. Yeah, the government that said they were always there to protect us, so were trying their best to leave us behind as they saved their own ass. We were led astray and waited our fate as they went to other countries and sipped wine. As we lost all we had, they drank wine and continued to party, financing their lifestyles with all the money that we paid them through taxes. Their lives hadn't changed at all. They had a trapdoor policy the whole time. As they started fires around the world, they knew if things got hot, they wouldn't affect them or their children. They would just leave us to burn, to be charred, to die, and be enslaved. Thank you, they would say to the infiltrators that put them in high-class hotels. You know, the heights of Europe, the westernized Arabia, the royal palaces of the world, the places where no bombs fall. There's a piano, can we play it? The 5- and 6-year-olds asked. Well, I guess so, I answered. They start banging on it, making noise. I try to show them what I know, then a person comes over and says, we can't have them banging on the piano. It's already too loud in here. Then a couple weeks later, some other kids are banging on the piano. And hush! Do you believe no one says a thing? So this is one instance of advantage and disadvantage. The well-to-do children are able to bang on the piano, and our poor kids are not. Our kids are censored because they are making noise, but their kids are condoned because they are cute or related or because banging on the piano is no fucking big deal. Our kids have no opportunity to learn or even experiment, for they are not worthy of it. So this gives our kids angst and they fight with their lives. Why can't I? Why are they allowed and I am not? Then they do practice in disguise or in the closet. And when they do gain the skills of the advantage, they are censored. They are told that there are rules to obey. You can't do this, you can't do that. You have to have the right degree, you have to be part of society, or eat this biscuit. You have to have the right address. It's not that they're censoring ideas or concepts that they don't want blasted to America. It's that they want only their players selling what we serve. I don't agree that you have to be a prince or related to someone from Malibu to get your words or ideas to the mainstream. We and our children should have the opportunity to be skilled and then have doors open to us instead of just being slammed in our face. The world is not the game show, and it's not up to the authorities who can bang on a piano, or who can be in the lawnmower, or whose ideas are to be considered worthy. The end.